Hi, I'm Bruce Spangler, CEO of the Volunteer Ministry Center, and I welcome you back to this Corner Perspective. The Volunteer Ministry Center, located on the corner of Fifth Avenue and Broadway, is dedicated to ending and preventing homelessness in our community. Today, I am joined by Stacy Newton. Stacy, thank you for joining me today.
Glad to be here.
Stacy has worked in the Resource Center for 3 years, right?
3 years.
3 years.
Yeah.
And the Resource Center is a place for folks who are experiencing homelessness on permanent housing. And right now, you're a provisional case manager.
That's right.
Tell me a little bit about that role.
Well, I help the folks who come in the program the first 2 weeks. When they join their program, we start them in classes. So they have a class where they attend and learn all about the different types of housing options, how to handle appeals, what it's like to work with a case manager and case plans, all that sort of stuff.
So you kind of get them off to a good start.
I hope so.
Well, I'm sure. I know you do. I know you do. One of the things that I'm really interested in is that you've made a comment about that, yes, VMC does empower and help folks change their life. I mean, permanent housing makes a difference, but you've also talked about how it's kind of changed your perspective. I'd like to hear a little more about that.
Yeah, I was in the business world for a long time, and I felt like I wasn't very happy with what I was doing. And so I was looking for something that was more meaningful, and I had heard about the VMC, and so I looked for a job here, and it's been amazing. It's just changed how I look forward to actually going to work, which I didn't before, and part of that is because of the clients that we're dealing with. The staff here, I really feel like they make a huge difference in the homeless community here at the VMC. So.
It's very easy for some folks to kind of make an assessment or judge an individual who's experiencing homelessness. Did your perspective on that change in any way?
Sure did. I mean, we deal with a lot of different clients, and I think something that I heard one of the case managers say, which is so true, I mean, people are sometimes one step away from homelessness. And, in today's world with, jobs sort of not being very easy to keep and not a lot of savings, it can happen to anybody. And so you hear a lot of different stories about the folks, coming into the program.
Sure.
All different sorts of things can happen to lead towards homelessness.
Without naming a name, is there an individual that kind of sticks out in your mind that, wow?
I think, the things that I've heard, like, especially with health, something that happens within a family that just can cripple your savings. And, I think that's been a big one. I remember recently where a client had just had major health issues, and it really led to their homelessness. So.
Right. There's no question about it. There's many paths into homelessness. And that if that's the case, then there ought to be many ways out of it. And I think that's one of the things I value about the Volunteer Ministry Center is there's no cookie cutter response to an individual, right?
No. And I think, we allow the clients to work that case plan. They help create it with their case manager to create that path, because that's kind of how it happens is you are believing and you're making that path to get out of homelessness, and then we help through that process. So.
Well, I'm glad that you found a meaningful place, but also you've been very effective in your work, Stacy.
Well,
you kind of epitomize the staff that we have here. So thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me
Absolutely.
Here and in the VMC.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for joining with me in this episode of the Corner Perspective. Stacy does represent the passion and desire as well as the hearts of many of those who work here as well as volunteer. So if you're interested in finding a place for meaningful work, we invite you to come and visit us. Join me next time.